All right, you Kryptonites, I am back again with another video. This video we're going to be looking at some of the cryptocurrency pairs. Um, really haven't been paying a lot of attention to them lately because basically a lot of them have been not doing a lot, and you had that fall from grace that a lot of people were looking at and started getting worried about. But really I wanted to see where and when the markets would start to turn around, and they have started turning around a little bit, some of them, and missed a couple opportunities by not really looking at them super hard. Could have caught some better opportunities, and I think now's a good opportunity to really start looking, because I think the markets are going to start rallying a little bit. You could look at some of these pairs and start seeing that. So I'm going to go through some of them, tell you what I see, basically using Ichimoku, fractals, and support and resistance, my main types of trading, and looking at price action with these things too. So putting all that together helps me to determine what I might want to do, if anything. I always want to trade what I call LST, which is level, signal, and trigger. If I don't have those three things, I really don't care about getting into a trade. I'm not hyped up where I have to get into a trade or have to be doing something. I'm beyond that stage of the game. There's so many opportunities that you could look at in other markets or other assets, so I don't get strung up into that. All right, so hopefully you guys don't either. So the thing that I'm going to look at, we're going to look at some of these pairs, go through them really quick, see what we got. So first thing we're looking at is Btc USD. So I like to look at the daily to get the big picture, try to get into the market on the 4-hour time frame. What I'm looking at here is where we found this high here, and then the market dropped down. We didn't have anything to really, other than Ichimoku levels, we didn't have anything to help us to decide where this market was going to slow down or fall or find support. Well, finally, because really you had these highs here that were just, you don't have anything in your past. So when you want to look to your left, you always want to find those levels. So from this point up, from this level here up, there was nothing to our left because this was the high at that previous time. So November 7th, 2017, the market dropped a little and broke that level eventually on the 19th. And then from that point, we didn't have anything to our left to really look at. But now you do have levels, because once we reach this high up here, wherever this is here, what was that, 19,891.99. Once we hit that high there, then the market started coming back down. You now started having levels more to your left that you could start looking at. So therefore the market dropped down. I started to look at this level here, but then the market came down to this level. So therefore I started putting lines here. You could see, wanted to see where that support and resistance level was. Market came back down to this level. This is strong support level. Basically it looks like at about 56.83, a little bit above that, somewhere in that area. But I look at the market at support and resistance as an area, not really an exact line. I don't have to be super precise, but you can see then we found this level here at 75.40, right on the nose pretty much here where this level was, and then the market kind of bounced on that level. You had a bounce here, but then the market went a little lower, and then we formed a nice inverted hammer here, and then the market moved higher. We broke past. You had this golden cross right here with Ichimoku, so you had a crossover with your Tinkinson TK crossover, and that was bullish. So that was your first sign that the market was starting to get bullish. But I have other signs here. The market's breaking fractals, so therefore I see that's a sign that the market's getting bullish. And then you could see we flattened out here on your cloud here. This level flattened out. You can see how the market starts rolling over, how this starts rolling over. I'm kind of looking for the market to pull back again, but it may not pull back. If it violates this level, it may just continue higher, then pull back. I was looking for the pullback here. I wanted to see the market pull back to my level, which would have been closer to my Tinkinson level. Now the thing about it, I don't show, yes, you see the market making a nice move here with this candle, but I don't have any momentum based off of my short-term momentum, which is my Tinkinson. It's flat. You don't want to trade when it's flat. You want to see it go in the direction of the market. So it's not going in the direction of the market, and you got a flat Tinkinson also, a flat Kijinsen also. So with those flat, everything's flat. You got some width here on your cloud, so that also tells me that there's some volatility here. And yes, you could see where it was a little bit volatile, but we may be on a move. So Next thing you look at is when the market ever gets up to this level again, up to this high here, that's going to be like a double top. So be prepared for that in the future if the market gets there. So currently you're probably looking for what you could get into right now. For me, there's not an opportunity at this level on the daily time frame, because more than likely if the market keeps going, I like to wait for the market to pull back to Tinkinson and get into my trades, because as you could see, when the market's really trending to the upside, it likes to pull back to that Tinkinson level and bounce on that Tinkinson level and then get you into some trading opportunities. You could see all the bounces on Tinkinson, and that's what you want to get into trades at that point. Therefore, I don't just take a trade just because in here. If I take a trade here, then I got to be prepared for the drawdown, because there's a possibility that it could pull back to the Tinkinson level as it does. The market doesn't like to get away from this blue line, which is your Kijinsen, and that's going to be at market equilibrium, basically market out of equilibrium. So if the market gets farther away from that Kijinsen as it stays flat, eventually the market's going to pull tighter to that level, because that's your equilibrium level. And a market that is in a market of equilibrium is not a good market, because you have equal buyers and sellers. You don't ever want that, because then the market's not going anywhere. So you pretty much equal buyers and sellers at an equilibrium point. Eventually it's gonna go somewhere, so you got to be prepared for that. So which way is it gonna go? Looks like we started to move to the upside here. So I want to go to the 4 hour, see if I could see what the market's doing, if I can get into anything. And I missed a couple opportunities here already. Once we already broke past this level, there were some opportunities. You had a nice bounce right here. So here's some of the things that you guys need to start looking for when you're trading this Ichimoku. Look at these bounces. You had an inverted hammer here. You could have 3 inside up, or you had to just break the inverted hammer level. Then the market pulled back your TK zone, had a trade up there, and now you got some divergence here, because what I'm looking at, and this is why I'm looking for, hopefully the market could drop a little bit, get back to that daily Tinkinson level, then I get into a better trade. Look at that divergence here. That started right here at this level, which was basically in here. So if we look at that, this is going to the upside still. All right, so it looks like we might have found a top, right? Let me get rid of that. And basically I'm saying we might have found a top, because we're pretty much flat on this level. We failed to break this upper level while the ultimate oscillator is still showing us divergence. So maybe we're going to see that drop to the downside. Then we could look for our trade to the upside. All right, but have to wait and see what happens there. Let's go back to the daily real quick. Back to that daily. And what I'm saying is, for that drop, if I get that drop, I could trade that daily on the. I feel more comfortable with that trade. I don't feel comfortable trading an extended market, because I don't want to be caught in the drawdown. I want to prefer to get closer to something that's going to give me some support. And the farther I get away from my levels of support, the higher my risk is. Therefore, I wait for this, see if I can get it. All right, I think people are always looking, thinking they're missing something. You're not missing anything. You're going to get other opportunities. You get chances to get into the market again. So that's what I look at on that there. Let's move off of this and look at another asset here. All right. LTC USD, pretty much the same thing, but again, you found your levels of support here. You could see where this level was. Therefore, you see my lines here. I was looking to find where that level was. Now you could see where that level, we developed the support and resistance level here at this 168.93 level, because you were support here, then you were resistance here, and then we broke through that level. Now, with the breakthrough here, I still want to see the pullback again, because usually within the market, you get a TK crossover, you get about 10 candles before the market pulls back to that level. So within that, I know I don't want to be trading on candle 8 and 9 or somewhere in that area. So I just wait for the pullback or the correction, and then get into the market. Now I do love to use fractal levels, but I'm not going to get into how I trade those fractal levels here. So I'm going to talk more basically just with the Ichimoku stuff and how we get into these Ichimoku trades. There's nothing here for me to get into right now at this point, because I'd have to wait for the breakout. Now you get a Kumo breakout here on the daily time frame. You should have a good breakout, because you got a crossover here. You got Chiku span above price. You'll have your price above the cloud, and you should have your Kumo twist should be bullish at that point. Once you get the breakout here, so that would be a Kumo breakout to the upside, and that would be a good opportunity for you to trade this to the upside. I would look to trade this. If I got a Kumo breakout, I would look for the market to get to these levels, at least back to again to another double top level, and then you have this upper level here. So 35.90, I mean 359.40. And then maybe with that breakout, it triggers this trade. Now you want to see Chiku span conform with the breakout of the cloud here, but you got a flat cloud, should see that violation. Go to the 4 hour time frame, see if we could get into it in a better opportunity. So the better opportunity for me, again, not really, no divergence per se, because we're still aiming to the downside here, so we're falling in line. I usually like to see levels get violated for me to get into a trade, so I really don't want to take anything here. You're flat again, so look at, you got this flatness here. You don't want to be flat Tinkinson, Kijinson. Everything is flat again, so you have no momentum at this point in time. So therefore you want to see levels broken in order to get into a trade. So with this flatness, you don't want to just jump in the market just because you don't take this level. All right, so I'm going to wait here and see what the market does. Back to this daily. Yeah, I prefer to see this drop back to a level where I could get into the trade, get a correction, and then get into the trade here. So currently don't really love this per se, but yes, it's still moving. I think eventually you're going to see it go back up to this level, see that move back up to the double top, but it's just a matter of short term. Where are we going to be? I'm looking for that short term move to get into the long term move that will take me up here. So that's what I see right there. Nothing major. Let's move on. Ethereum, US dollar, looking at that, we're pretty much like the same thing here, but now again, we came back. You could see again, they're all showing these levels now. You're starting to see support and resistance levels on your left, because now you've got levels to count on from the past, because everything down here and below is going to show you some levels that you could use. Now you could see where this was support here at 686.23, same thing right here. And then you see down this level here was resistance and a support level, basically. All right, we had a big rejection of this level, big rejection of that level. All right, and then the market now, we violated this fractal here, but we came back to a flat level of of your Kijinsen. So I do like this opportunity. I'd like to see it a little bit tighter, but I do like this opportunity, because now what I would look for here is a violation of this with a bullish engulfing possibly, or a 3 inside out. So I want to trade the break of this level if the market continues to go to that level, go above that level. All right, but I like to try to get in on the 4-hour time frame. Again, overall, I think you'll see the market reach these highs here again. So you'll be looking at the double top at this point. You still have maybe a little resistance at this point at 1217.35, and then overall you might see the market hit 1421.96. All right, but that's long term we're talking. So we're trying to get into this level here. So we're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame, see if we could catch that level. And with the 4-hour time frame here, no divergence. We're trading inside of one candle and we broke out. Now we pulled back. So what I want to see is, are we going to get a fractal at this point? If we get a fractal, I'll look for the break of that level. I don't like seeing the flatness here. You got a bearish TK crossover. Everything is still weak, so showing signs of weakness still, nothing strong. But again, that's where a level that I would look for. Ichimoku, everything's bullish on the 4-hour except that your crossover, you got a death cross here, which is a bearish crossover on your Tinkinson, Kijinsen. And I don't like flat clouds. Okay, so just watching and looking at this thing so long, you start to know what you want to really see, but you can't count on Ichimoku to get you all 100% into the market, because the market moves faster than these lines do. These lines are not the market. These are after effects. So you got to have other ways of determining the market and understanding the structure and everything to that nature. All right, so still we could see this move higher. Once this market starts moving, it take a little bit of time for Tinkinson and Kijinsen to aim to the upside. By then you could have been in a full-blown move and you missed out on the catch. So you got to understand the structure of the market. You got to understand these support and resistance levels. What's holding this market from dropping lower? Where could we look for our target to get into the market? And those things. So back to this 4-hour real quick. Just getting this pullback here. One thing I do like, look at this here. Yeah, so I just want to see the market violate this upper level if we get a fractal up here, and then I'd like to take that to the upside. All right, so let's move on to the next pair, next asset real quick. Don't want to keep y'all long. People lose interest after you start talking about stuff too long. So, you know, sometime an hour is too long. So you want to get done, get it over with. Help people to understand what you see on the markets. So again, another market with a possibility of moving to the upside. You still got a chance of ranging for a little bit, because you see Chiku span inside of this price level here. All right, and then you see basically you got resistance at the top of the cloud here. I want to see the pullback. I thought I would see the pullback, but then the market's starting to attempt to move higher. If it can't break this fractal, you will probably see it pull back to a more reasonable level, because everything is flat here. Again, you got too much flatness, no strength. But again, I said don't count just on that. See the market for what it's worth first before you don't just say Ichimoku's flat, I can't get into a trade, blah, blah, blah. All right. So go to the 4-hour time frame. So you know what? These fractal levels, they're the levels that you want to trade when you see this market trending to the upside. And basically, I teach how to trade those fractals 100% and catching great trades off these fractal levels and how to trade these fractal levels. But I'm basically going to stick to Ichimoku here. And basically looking at Ichimoku, I don't have the things that I really want to trade the market. So looking here, if I get a breakout here above the cloud, I still need my crossover here. So I still need my twist to become bullish. At this point, I'm not sure if you would get it. But if you get that at the same time you get a breakout, because you'll break this fractal, you get a breakout here, that would be a good trade, because you also have Chiku span above price and above the cloud, and you won't have anything hindering you. Now you start to look for your levels where the market may go to. So if you break out, you may see issues getting through that point and this point here. But at this time, I don't have a breakout yet. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame. See if we could catch anything a little better. And the 4-hour time frame look like it's going to pull back a little. So if we could get a pullback, a little bit pullback, get a little bounce off, because we already missed this opportunity. I don't believe in jumping into the market after the opportunity is missed, right? Because you pulled back, you had two opportunities here. You pulled all the way back to Kijinsen one time, and you failed to violate it, right? So when you failed, you had a little rejection here, entry at the rejection level. That entry, you could have taken it right there, because you want to be a little bit above that level. So what you do is put your level on a rejection candle. You want to put your level already. I don't set a level unless it's a rejection level off of one of my levels, unless it's a rejection candle off of one of my levels. Other than that, I'm not going to set anything. I'm going to wait for the market to confirm it. So if you waited for confirmation, you pretty much got it in this area. All right. But I don't believe in jumping in already, because the reason I would have gotten in is right here, or at this level right here, a little bit above that level. So you would have probably been triggered there. Then the market failed to violate this low. It kind of closed a little bit because low Kijinsen, but stayed above this low fractal, and then the market moved higher. So you might see a little pullback here where you could get a bounce on your Tenkan-sen level and then trade this to the upside. Now, no divergence. All right, so that's a good thing. Yep, that's a good thing. So if you look at this, you could see one thing that I always look for when the market's moving to the upside or to the downside, I look for that hidden bearish or bullish divergence, because that's continuation divergence. So what it looks like, kind of guys, and people it's hard to catch because you're not paying attention to everything. And a lot of people, oh, you could see that after the fact. Yeah, you could see it after the fact, but you could see it at the same time too if you study the market and look at things. So when you see this, what you're going to look for, and I basically want to see my levels also, okay? So that's going to be a major thing to me. So when you go here, this is the level right here. This is the fractal. So base it off to these fractals, right? So when you see this level, and then the market pull way back here, this level, kind of right here, this level right here after you had the rejection, this is pointing to the downside. This is all the way up to the upside. This is hidden bearish bullish divergence, which in case the market's going to move, you expect the market to move to the upside. All right, and it started to move to the upside, and I think you're going to get a little bounce off of here. You may see the market drop a little, then we could get that move to the upside. We need to break this level. All right, that's for sure, because if we don't, that's going to be an issue. But I think you will, because there's no divergence showing us that this may drop to the downside. So this is in line with the market pretty much. All right, so that's what we see there. All right, but I don't want the opportunity here yet. If I did trade this, I want to trade the close above that level. But what I want to see at this point is the market drop, pull back to my Kijinsen or Tenkan-sen level, and then try to get into the trade off of the 4-hour time frame. All right, so let me get that out of here. Let's go to the next asset. And see, a lot of traders just think you got to be in a trade. You got to be doing something. You got to be planning, and you got to be ready for when it does happen. So looking at this, same thing, sideways market a little bit, because now it started to find its levels. You can see I got levels drawn on the sheet, on the chart. And we're looking for the pullback here now You got resistance at the cloud. You see Chico spans inside of this big price here. So real Ichimoku will wait for you to break above this level here for a breakout. Yeah, I don't think you'll have this twist by the time that happens. So I want to see the market pull back more up to my level again, confirm that it's in a trend, bounce off of that Tenkan-sen, and then get into the trade. So I'm going to the 4-hour time frame to see what I could get. Now see, the 4 hours trying to give me something. It hasn't. It developed here because you kind of bounced off of Kijinsen. So this is why you need to be looking. Once you go to the daily time frame, confirm your bias, and then you go down to the 4-hour time frame. All right, so when you go down to the daily time frame, confirm your bias. A lot of that's confirmed with the fractals, not with Ichimoku. Ichimoku's slower. It'll take me a while to get that. So fractals will confirm that for me. Then we go down to this 4-hour time frame, and then we trade the Ichimoku bounces or whatever. So you had rejection here, you had a bounce on Tenkan-sen here, you had a bounce on Tenkan-sen here. All right, this was harder to trade because it was so flat. You were on the level, but you were flat. You had a nice move here, but you probably wouldn't have been expecting it because the market wasn't doing much. So that would have been hard. But you could see the bounces on this level. Then this showed kind of signs of weakness here because it pulled all the way back to Tenkan-sen, to your Kijinsen level inside your TK zone. You had a rejection, and that's your level where you want to enter the trade. You would have boomed, the market went higher, but then we failed to break this level up here. So we haven't broken this level, which is the issue. So we want to see the market break that level. That's a good trading level to get through that level. But I think on the 4-hour time frame, you could maybe catch that even earlier because you got not really a rejection here. So we want to see what the price action gives us in this area because we kind of bouncing on Tenkan-sen, and we want to see if we could get a setup. So what I look for here is I got level, which is Tenkan-sen. I got signal with this candle here, and then I need a trigger candle, and then I can get into my trade. So it's not only, it all depends. There's different types of triggers, different types of signals, but always the same levels pretty much. All right. So always going to use the same levels, Tenkan-sen, Kijinsen, cloud levels, horizontal support and resistance levels, and so forth. Love the fractal levels the most though. Get most of my better trades off of those levels. So that's what I'm looking at on this pair. So let me go to the next asset here. All right, I'm not going to waste time on pairs that really don't give us much. We have our sessions daily, or we have a Ichimoku live at 5. Have that for members, so I don't sit in there and talk about stuff that's not happening. You see a market and it's not really have much going on, so I don't talk about it. This market is at a strong resistance level. I want to, and it's starting to, you see, you do have some angulation here, and everything's starting to look good for this market. But the only thing I hate is that it's at a resistance level. But the strength of Ichimoku is starting to show here. You got everything pointing to the upside. All right, so you can see you're getting ready to have that Kumo twist here. And as I said, you had a breakout here, but you didn't have a Kumo twist that was ready. So what you want to wait for is a pullback here. So maybe you get a pullback because you're at these levels. You don't want to trade into the resistance level because this market may drop. So you need some confirmation of this move to the upside. You do have the confirmation move, but you're again at resistance. So what I'm going to wait for is a pullback to a level or a violation of the level, and then wait for it to pull back and then possibly get into the trade. Then go to 4-hour time frame. So at the 4-hour time frame, what we want to see is the market drop now, because we do have some we have a fractal here, and then we have this little indecision candle pretty much. When we fall lower, then maybe we could get a bounce off of Tenkan-sen, Kijinsen on the 4-hour time frame, and then trade it to, we'll be trading into resistance though, which would, maybe we can break that level. But I don't like trading into resistance. So we really want to see this pull back and then get this trade. Now this could be a range basically. Could be this could be the top, and then we could be finding a bottom down here, or maybe at this level, who knows. But you basically want to trade what you see. So for me, I wouldn't jump in here because I don't like where it's located. So I would wait on this. I want to see the pullback and then see a couple other things. So nothing really to trade there at this time. So out of dollar, we're going to look at this thing. This one, you came back a little flat here, sitting on Kijinsen level, unable to violate lower. It looks like you got a crossover that's bearish, flat clouds. Thing about this one, let's go to daily. Sorry, got to look at the daily to figure it all out, because I was getting ready to say, look at this. But look at this. You see, we found our top, and then we're looking for our bottoms here. So the bottom that we found was this level here and this level. So see this level right here. Let's take these other lines out so you could see it more clear. I was trying to find the level, and eventually we found the level. So let's mark it right on this point. And when you do that, you can see where we are. We bounced on that level. So now you're getting ready to have a TK crossover that's going to be bullish. Your cloud is still flat and everything. It still doesn't say that we're not going to move higher. We bounce off of this level and see the market move higher. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame starting to give me some signs here. I want to see the market close above this level, really, this fractal level here. But we are bouncing on your Kijinsen level, but you got a future, you got a TK crossover that's bearish. All right, so I don't like that. You're flat up here, then you see the market had some divergence in it. So is this move to the downside done, and then it's going to come back again, or what? So I want to see those levels violated first, and then I'll still be worried about the market getting through this level. All right, but even if it violates that level, we'll be trading into this point here, and we want to see the market get through that level. You got flat Tenkan-sen, flat Kijinsen, bearish TK crossover. Future is bright though, which is a good thing. You got a bright future, and Chikou span basically close to being above this level. You need to get past this pretty much 2.193 to see that move to the upside, basically, if you want to just trade a level, because you have all bullishness with your Ichimoku system. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Look at these next ones real quick. Looking at this Ripple dollar. Let's go daily time frame. Again, another asset that I believe is probably going to move higher based off of it found support at certain levels. So let's move some of the lines that aren't relevant. Now we're going to go like this. Let's remove this line, because look at this support level basically right here. Then the market came right back to it. So that's a strong level, 69,230. So that's a good level. Then the market's moving higher. What I see here, you got a lot of volatility here. But the thing that you see a lot of times with the market is, and when you look at Ichimoku and study it a lot, so we get this move higher. We want to see like a 1, 2, 3 pattern, because that when we see that 1, 2, 3, now look at your cloud here, it's flat. So I'm going to tell you what you look at sometime when you're looking at this, especially when you're looking at a market turning from bearish to bullish. You see it a lot more because you can see it better, because it looks just like this. Whoops, what's going on here? I guess I hit the zoom. We got to get out of that. It's trying to take me away there. They're going crazy. But anyway, let me try to do this again. That thing was steadily moving on me there. Flat cloud. You start to see this roll over like this. Rolling over. And then boom. Because, you know, your sync out span B is flat right here. Sync out span A moves around and back to the upside, because in a trend, sync out span A, which is right here, is going to end up on the upside. It's going to cross over B, the flat B, and then you're going to see the market go like this, and this will be your cloud, and it'll be all colored in, and it'll be green. Here it's red, all right? But then what I look for when I see this, I see this like this a lot. So I'm kind of looking for that 1, 2, 3, or a level where I could get in. So what I'm looking at now, based off of this, we're at a good level, because your daily is sitting right on your TK crossover. You got a bullish crossover. Chikou span is still below price for us, so we want to get that. We want to see that come above price. I think when you violate this level, you might start to see that move a little higher. To get out of price level, you need to get that above this area here. So you got a little room, but I think we came back to the Tenkan-sen here after our crossover, and we make it maybe like look for that price action entry, maybe bullish engulf, and maybe 3 inside up. I like a lot of times I'll box the market in and wait for it to close above that level. All right, and then I'll take that trade. But I think if we could get through that level, again, you're always going to look for that double top level long term. That's what you'd be thinking long term. So let's see if we could get into a better trade on the 4-hour. Now the daily is giving us a good opportunity, but we want to confirm the bounce on Tinkerton. A lot of people say it's a bounce before it even bounces. The next thing you know, it drops to the downside. It's not a bounce. It just touched that level. It has to show you that it bounced on that level and starting to move higher. All right. So it's not a bounce if it doesn't bounce. Right. You take a basketball, bounce it on the ground. It doesn't bounce if there's no air in it. You can't say you're bouncing it. It's not going anywhere. Same thing with this market. So let me go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. So again, 4-hour, everything's flat. TK crossover is bearish. This is just a ranging market at this point. You want to see some levels violated, then you know the market's starting to get some momentum. At this point, 4 hours showing me no momentum at all. All right, nothing at all. Want to see this level violated at least, but I don't like that what it's showing me right there. I do like the daily kind of, but I just want to see it's going to have to move higher and show me a signal at this point. So I do have my level. Don't really have my signal and trigger. So do have a level though. So I'll wait to see if I can get a signal and trigger at that level. So it'll be giving me a good opportunity. All right, so let me get you all out of here. I know you guys want to get out of here. So if you want to get out of here quicker than I am, then just shut off the video. That'll help you out real quick, right? But see, we're looking at the daily time frame here on this EOS dollar. And again, found your support and resistance levels because you could see where we were here. The market went higher and came back to that level, smack dab on it. All right, and then it started to move higher. So for me now, you're inside the TK zone. You want to see the market close above this Kijun-sen, because when you get that, you're probably going to get a crossover also. You won't have this signal yet. You won't have this signal yet. If you wait for every single thing on Ichimoku, you're going to wait till this price is way up here before you start trading. By then, it might start coming back down again. So you have to also understand other things, other aspects of the trade. All right, so that crossover is going to be before everything. You'll get this TK crossover before you get this Kumo twist. You might get it before you get this Chiku span above price also. All right, so what I like to do, if I do see it on the daily time frame, I want to go down to my 4-hour time frame, try to get a better entry, try to see the market a little better. So seeing that, again, don't like that because your twist is still bearish. You're flat on your Kijun-sen. Your Chiku span is below. Now, if you see it start to roll up, all right, and we violate this level here, close above that level, that could trigger our trade with a stop loss down here. All right, and then we want to see the market violate this level, and then we could start riding this thing to the upside. By then, you will have a pretty much better signs on Ichimoku because Chiku span is still below price even when we violate this level. So in order for Chiku span to get above price, it's going to have to get above this level. So that means you're going to wait for your trade to get all the way up to this level before you enter it. So you got to wait for the market to get all the way up to this level. When I'm saying you could take the break here and stop loss a little bit below that level. All right. Chiku span and Kumo twist will not be bullish at that time, but you'll get a bullish crossover on your twist as price gets here along with Chiku span. So you can wait for the market to get to this level, then make your decision. All right, because you also do have a flat Kijun-sen. TK crossover is bearish. You want to see that crossover future. You want to see that crossover bullish, and you don't like that flat Kijun-sen. Now, Kijun-sen doesn't scare me so much when it's flat because that's your midterm momentum. I want to see that short-term momentum kick in at least. I don't want to get into the market with no short-term momentum. That's for sure. So let's see a couple of things. Look, I like to look at that divergence, and if I don't have divergence, then okay, cool. And there is no divergence, and I really like that sometimes because that means I can just follow what the market's showing me. And I don't trade divergence. I use that as like a probability enhancer to enhance the probability of my trade. Because in order to have a good, successful trade, you got to have the probabilities in your future, in your pocket. So they got to be in with you as far as like your signal, your trigger, your level. Those things give you a higher probability trade setup. Right? If you don't have those, then you got a lower probability trade setup probably. All right. So that's EOS US dollar. Let's go on to the next one. Dash US dollar. Let's go daily. Look at that daily. See what the daily picture is telling us. So daily, we kind of late here because we have some levels that, again, I told you fractal levels. We're looking at fractal levels. We've hit those levels and we missed the opportunity to get into the trade long. So we really, again, found levels over here off of this support level. And you can see where the market came back to. So now you have levels on your left to look at if you want to start looking at resistance levels also. All right, so you can start marking these levels and seeing what these levels are, what levels are support and resistance. So you see this level is a support, resistance level, turn support, then it was resistance, and it may turn support, right? So let's see if the market, we're still flat on Tinkerson, Kijun-sen, all right, Kumo twist. Chico span below price. Everything's still bearish here except price. Price is not bearish when you look at what the market's doing as far as this short term here. All right, but it's bearish with Ichimoku. Ichimoku's bearish. All right, but the start of the market starts and ends with a fractal all the time, no matter what you do. All right, so see this move here? It started with this fractal, and then the market starts and ends with the fractal. So if a trend starts and ends with a fractal, not the market. But if you're going to get a move, it's going to be start with a fractal and go to the upside. The next move down is going to start with a fractal. All right, and it's going to be a fractal break that really triggers the trade. All right, triggers the opportunity for you. When you see that, that lets you know which way the market's truly going. At this point, I do see the same things. Basically, what I'm looking for, because we pulled back to this level, but we'd have no momentum. So for me to trade this, I'm not trading the trend. So I want to be trading the trend. So saying it pulled back to Tinkinson does me no justification because Tinkinson's flat. There's no momentum here. So I need to wait, get some momentum into this market. All right, so let's move on. Man, I'm 35 minutes in. I know you guys are like, oh man. But here we go. Bch Usd. All right, looking at that daily time frame, we're a little flat here. We're kind of flat, trading inside this one candle. Let's make this bigger so we could see this a little bit better. All right, you can see we're kind of flat throughout this whole area, so you're kind of not doing much right yet. So maybe you just box this thing in, wait for it to break out of the box. And if you want to go, you could go with the bodies right here. So currently there's nothing real that I would look at. I want to see a break here. Now if this was a bullish engulfing, if this closes as that would probably be a good opportunity because you bounced on your Tinkinson here. Your crossover is bullish, but again, you're flat with everything. That's the problem. But the momentum will kick in if we see this move higher. Now again, you got a flat, your span is flat. You're going to see this crossover develop. That would help you. Chico span is breaking above price, so everything's starting to become bullish here. So a close above my box here would give me an entry that would signify everything is bullish. All right, and then we would start looking for our levels where we're going to trade to. So ultimately it would be these levels that I'm looking at, and I always like to look to my left, find the support and resistance levels, and then just trade to those levels and see if I can get through those levels. So I trade to the level, see if I can get through the level, trade to the level, see if I get through the level. All right, so that's what we're looking at there. Go to 4-hour time frame, see if it looks a little better on the 4-hour. 4-hour does look pretty good, but I just don't like a couple things with 4-hour. You can see we're flat here. The market's not doing anything, and it's hard to honor Tinkinson or Kijinsen with a flat market like this. Now you got to bounce right here on Kijinsen. All right, you got a nice little tweezer bottom here, so you may see something that signifies we could take the break of this level. So I pretty much will wait for the break here for me though. That'll break that fractal level and then have the market move higher. And I take it on that, then I'll start looking for my levels where the market's gonna find resistance and maybe correct itself or get through those levels. All right, next one, let's move on. I got two more pair after this to look at, guys. If you're getting tired of me, you're probably getting tired of me, right? So I get out of here. I get out of here quick. All right, so we see where the levels, again, you could see what we looked at on our left. You could see these levels. Every pair is starting to find and start to show some levels now where we could start counting on. So on this one, I don't like any trade right now. I want to see the pullback. I really want to see the pullback to Tinkinson and then trade. A lot of indecision up here after a nice couple little moves. Got a little bit of indecision. Let's go to 4-hour time frame, see what we got. Yeah, I don't even like the 4-hour right now. So for me, not a good opportunity to get into the market yet. But I want to see what the market does on this level. You may get a crossover here. The Chico span getting above price. Your future is bright. So yes, still the upside move on the 4-hour time frame. Just don't want to enter yet. I need more. I need a trigger yet. All right. So let's move to the next one. Bch Usd again. Pretty much looking like the same things. Again, you could find your levels. You could see we found a level, and now we want to see where levels or resistance are also, because they're going to matter to us. Is this going to be something here? this is close to a resistance level. Maybe we see that market pull back a little better for us. We're not showing any momentum, which is scary for me. I like to see a little momentum, but again, I told you the Ichimoku doesn't move as fast as the market. But still, I don't see momentum with the fractals levels yet, so that's a problem for me. Market not doing anything yet, so we can wait, be patient. Let's go to 4 hours, see what we got. Yeah, nothing major. Not seeing anything happen right yet, so we could wait on this. There's nothing going on still. So let's go to the next one. This is my last one. Neil Dollar. Again, you see we found our levels, a couple different levels. Now we're flat again with everything. Everything's still flat. Now the Kumo breakout won't really help you. I mean, because Chico span is inside the price level. Your future is dark, and Chico span and Kijinsen and Tengen-sen have not crossed over. Chico span is below price. So for me, traders, you know what we look for on this one. So we'll wait on this. The Kumo breakout's no good. So no opportunity for me at this point. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Let you know that I got a 1-year membership if you're interested. I do this stuff every couple days with members, depending on what the market's doing. We do something like this. Most of the time, it lasts a good 2 hours because we'll have a session, webinar session, and it'll be on Forex, and then we'll do cryptocurrencies. We're getting into more stocks and into other things, start options and stuff like that. So we'll be trading more assets, looking at more things. So I recommend that if you're very interested in learning Ichimoku, you come join us, become a member. You get an opportunity to be a 1-year member, which is an elite membership for 1 year. Last 1 year, and the price is not that expensive, guys. And people will ask me, why isn't it expensive, and it must not be good, or this and that. You could ask members if it's good. All right, tell you that. They'll let you know. And another thing, besides that, we offer the webinars, like I said, trade setups, trade alerts, basically, are trade setups. Trade setups are because once you learn how to trade the way that I'm showing you, I send out something and you automatically know the level of trade because you'll know the level, signal, and trigger. So we have a forum, we have a chat room, we have the videos that I said, more educational videos, we have courses. So if you become a member, a 1-year member, you get access to all that stuff, all of that for the one price. You pay the one price, you get everything. You get all that membership, all that courses. So come on over to FX at One Glance, as you can see up top there. And if you come over there, just go to where it says become a member, all right, and click on that and become a member if you want to. But if not, you just keep looking at these videos that I send you out. Now, people ask, do I talk about more in my session and my courses than I do here? Way more than what I talk about here. You probably would think, well, how could he talk about more? I talk about way more because there's so much more that you don't even know about Ichimoku or understand. So I get into the advanced Ichimoku, and I also talk about fractals way more. We use fractals more than anything. All right, so that'll help you trade, and trust me, those fractals are major. But other than that, guys, if you're having all right, if you're doing good trading what you're doing, then good. If you're having time struggling and you just can't seem to get a groove and a grip on stuff, come over, check me out, become a member. I'll be with you for 1 year. I'm always there for you, always there to help you out. And trust me, I put my heart into each member. I don't just want you to come and be with me and then forget about you. I'm there for you 24/7. All right, guys, till next time, have a great one. God bless. So long.